All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Today, I am coming to you as a intervention specialist or a service provider, and I will show you what needs to be done in those positions. I'm going to start from like today is the first day of migration because we do have a mix of people in here. Some people have already converted and some people have not. So I'm going to go from where do I start when I log in for the very first time. So on here is your dashboard, and we'll get into that a little bit more. Because the first thing that you need to do, because you see that there's no students listed here or any kind of document, I need to add students to my caseload. So the first thing I need to do is come over to my menu. And I'm going to go to my student. I'm going to close the menu just so I have a full screen view here for you guys. I'm going to assign myself. Somebody talking? I'm going to assign myself students here. And I do that by going to assign students. If I have the role of a case manager, I'll be able to choose myself as case manager. If I am a service provider, this is going to be crossed out and grayed out where you can't assign yourself as a case manager if you are a service provider. So you can choose any of the following that are listed here, and there is an other listed there as well. So first off, there could only be one case manager. That's the person that's ultimately responsible for that student's IEP or ETR or 504. But if you work in teams, I know that you need to have access to those students' documents as well. So you can assign yourself as other as well. So you're not responsible for the documents or that student's documents, but you do help write on those documents. You assign yourself as other. So for now, I'm going to be a case manager. And you see my name is up here. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click student. And here is your search, so you can search for students. So I'm going to add Skyward Cortez to mine. So I just look for his name, click on it, you see it over here, and then I go to my next student. Found him, clicked on it. Now, if I was to go look for Duran again, I'm going to see him because I am the case manager. I haven't been assigned yet. Nobody else would be able to find him once I put him over an assigned student if they're looking for him as a case manager. I'm going to go ahead and just click assign. And now you see that I have these students under my student, and I am listed as the case manager. Now, if I'm the case manager, I can also assign people as like the support people. So I can come in here and say assign students. I would click off of my name and then search for new staff member. And now that you see that I've chose somebody else, I cannot assign anybody else as a case manager. They would have to do that themselves, or an administrator would have to do that for them. So I'm just going to say that she works with me with this student. She's not speech and language or interpreting. She's just another IS that's helping me out. I'm going to click student. And I think my resolution's up high, so I can't see that list. Uh, hmm. I'm not sure why this isn't working, but I should see my student list right here. Usually because it has to do with the resolution. That doesn't seem to, let me pull it down a little bit first and try again. Align stuff first, there we go. I'm perplexed on that one. Typically, those students are listed here, and then I would pull them over and hit assign as well. I'm gonna have to look into that, why that's not working. We'll get this back bigger so you can see it. And these are all the documents for the students. If I click on the name, it takes me to the student profile. If I click on any of the documents, it's going to take me to the document, either in an open view or in a completed view. If it's completed, it's going to show up as like a PDF form. So go ahead and click on that one so you can see. Pops open a new window and goes out and gets the form. That automatically takes me to the document page. I'm going to go back to my documents for a minute. There is a newer, or my students, I'm sorry. There is a newer feature on here. It just came out in the 19.5 release. And this is the print student document. If I click on this, teachers have access to this as well, just so that you know. So if they want to print up IEP summaries, it's going to print the most recent completed IEP summary. So I would choose the IEP summary and I would choose students next. I do have to search for the students. If I have access to all students in the building, I would be able to pull up any student, which I don't think that I do. And then if I do and I have a caseload, I can say caseload only and it will search for my caseload students only. So I'm just going to add Cortez over here. And I'm going to hit create. And here you can see that I have a document, IEP summary. There's one document in there. It was created and it's requested. So it's not complete yet. I have a refresh here. And it's still not complete. So I'm going to go ahead and close this because it will tell me when I have one open, and I'll show you what that looks like. I can also go ahead and create another one if I want to look at progress reports. I would just click progress report and go to students. Progress reports are the latest open progress report for students. I actually don't think I have an open progress report for either one of these students, so I probably won't be able to do that. We'll see. So he doesn't have any, so it's because it's saying no students found. And he doesn't have one because it says no students found. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to. Also, I'm not sure if this works in demo. I thought it did, but we'll come back and I'll show you. We'll come back here and it should have like a little one up here that's ready when we come back to that. I love demo databases. They don't always work the way they're supposed to work. Also, you'll notice now that I've added students, I have a student list here on the side. So those are shortcuts to get to students if I would like to. I would just click on them and it would take me to the student profile. I'm going to take you back to the dashboard. And you can get to the dashboard by either clicking here where it says dashboard in the menu. But if you don't have the menu expanded, you can just hit Special Services and it'll take you straight to the dashboard. So now you can see that I actually do have documents on my dashboard. And I'm going to go over the dashboard a little bit. Here's if I have more than one district. It's going to be a drop down. I choose the district that I want. A little head where I can change my password or sign out. Tells me my name. If you guys use notifications, that's where your notifications are. This is a shortcut to the Analytics Hub. And I can either click here, and if I had recent reports, they would be listed in this area. I can also mark some reports as favorites, and they would be listed in there as well. And then we have the help menu. I'll show that to everybody. It's a really good menu. They have some really short, like 1 to 5 minute long little videos. This is under administration. And some like 1 to 2 page instructional sheets. And I also have an area for case managers, service providers, and teachers. A bunch of videos for them and instructional sheets for them as well. We don't recommend that you go in here and click on these and print them all off, because you notice that things are being updated. Like this one here was updated on 3/6. So they are updating them. So it's a good idea to just to get it from here so you have the most recent document. I also have a search here where I can search for any student. So it depends on your rights on what you can search for. Like if I put in Smith, I have the ability to search for any student within the building. Some districts are opting out of that they have to can only search for their students, but that's the search. I also have these little widgets, so you can see that I have 2 overdue. I mean, here I can kind of spy them out pretty quick, but most people have more than 2 students. I would just click on overdue, and I can see what they are, and I would only be looking at those. This due date is the date that you use when you create a new document and you say the due date, which isn't necessarily the date that that document's going to be due. So some districts have, people put that as the date that the documents actually should be due, and some people don't. So it just depends on your district. If I want to go back to viewing all documents, I would just click Documents. Since I do have a case management class on mine, I can show you the caseloads, and it's just going to show my caseload. But an administrator would be able to see everybody's caseloads and who's overdue. So I'm just going to go back to view all documents. If I created a document recently, it'd be listed here. It would have like a little blue link to it, and I could just click on it and go right into it. I can start a new document here and also over here. And if I had recent reports here, they would be listed, and more reports here. If I want to make one a priority, I would just check the box, hit mark priority. If I want to unmark it as priority, I would just check the box again and click it, and it would take that priority off. You can sort by any of these fields, even the priority ones, like mine in alphabetical order. You could do it by due date if you wanted. There's a filter over here, and since it's white, that means there's no filters on here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the filter. I can choose what type I want to look at. So if I'm in the middle of progress report season, 4 times a year, 8 times a year for some, I might want to say I only want to look at progress reports. I'm just going to make mine IEPs. There's no progress report. I want to say any that are open. I can also do a due date if I want to do any that are overdue, less than 8, so on and so forth. I'm going to keep it as all. And every time I come in, I want this view. So I don't want it to mess up. I don't want it to change. Every time I come in, I want to see my open IEP. So in order for that to happen, I need to come to the setting wheels. I call them dashboard preferences. And I would just come down here to filters and click use current filters. Like I said, I like mine alphabetically, so I'm going to say use current sorting. And then I can decide what I want to see on there. If I'm at a junior high building, I might want to put date of birth on there so I know whether they're turning 14 or not. Add the status on there. I don't really care about the progress. And that's all. So now I close my dashboard preferences. And this is my new view. I can clear everything. I can change that, use current filters by adjusting my filters and then coming back in there and choose that use current filters again. I'm going to come over to student document. This looks very similar to your dashboard. There's a different filter on there that you can use as well, but you can also set this up to look different than the dashboard. So you can have one view on your dashboard and one view on your student document. So I'm going to come over and look at what my filters are. You see how it's black, so I know there's filters there. And this is looking at anything that's in the current school year. This is nice. You can actually change your dates. And if you notice, it's the event date, not that due date, but the event dates. So it's looking at the actual documents themselves. If I do clear all, I can click that date again. And so I don't have to remember what date to go through the calendar picker. I can hit restore defaults and it'll put that 7/1 of 19 through 6/30 of 20. Or I can customize them by saying maybe I only want from January 1st. And I would click that. Again, I can do my due dates, which are these due dates, my statuses, and my type on this. So I can customize that as well. Maybe on this, I want my type at the top, and I would come over to my setting and hit that use current. Maybe I don't want priority on this one. I don't want progress. I do want status. If I'm a service provider, I may want to know who the case manager is, so I could add that to my column as well. So if I'm working with students that I'm not the case manager for, I would know who the case manager is. I'm not sure why these say unassigned. I'm going to go with demo database again, because that should actually say my name on it. So it looks like I've kind of gone through fairly quickly layout of this. Does anybody have any questions, I know tomorrow I am going over banks and printing documents and data collection form for the users. I could go over the student profile. Let's do that real quick. So I'm going to click on Sawyer's name, and it's going to take me to the student profile. Again, you're going to see all of his information up here in this banner. It has the alerts, grade, counselor, contacts, transportation. And you can see, I know in the past, it always said, there said parent guardian above everybody. So that was an update that they've done recently. So it actually gives what they are, what that person is to that student. So that's all on there. It's just giving name information. So if I want more information on those contacts, I'd come over here to the contacts tab. And here I can see mom, the primary contact, her home number, address, email, and how she was flagged in student information. And again, they cannot change information in here. That's all done through student information. If I come to the special ed tab, that's going to give me who the case manager is, the most recent IEP summary. I always forget that. Let's bring Cortez up. I know he has one. That's just going to be right here. Teachers are able to see this as well. We just click on that and it opens up this little smaller window here. I can do a print preview and print it out or save it. And it has all the information in here. Exit the preview. Exit the most recent IEP summary. I have my open documents in one area and my completed documents in another. I think with tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and add how to start a document onto that because that probably should be part of that one as well. But this was more of a how do I get around? How do I add students to my student? If for some reason Duran is not my student anymore, I can simply exit out and remove. And I also want to mention again that caseloads are year specific. So after this school year is over, I'm going to have to come in and add students to my caseload again for next year. So they would go through the same process at the beginning of the year. They would come in and they would have an empty screen, no student documents, dashboard's empty. They're going to have to come into my students and assign them their students to themselves. Or if you're a district that is assigning students for your intervention specialists and service providers, you'll have to do all of that on the administrative side. Oh, there it is, print documents. It did work. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. You see the one there. Come to history, and you can see where it says it was available. It's available, and I would just click on the IEP summary, brings it up. I can download it, print it. If I refresh this, it's going to tell me that it was used. So I know that I have looked at that report. If I want to now delete that, I don't need it anymore, I can hit delete. But technically, a teacher could come in here and run the IEP summary for their entire class and leave this in their queue and be able to just click on it and look through every single one of their student IEP summaries. I do suggest that they run it every once in a while because, again, the summaries are off the latest completed IEP. I'll make sure I say that right. So I'm going to go ahead and delete it. And then you can see that I have no print jobs back. Does anybody have any questions or want me to show them anything else? Well, you got me on the line. All right, so I am recording this and I will upload it to YouTube later on today, and I will send y'all a link to our YouTube channel. Most of you were here yesterday, but I know I have a few more newbies in here today. So I'll send it out to everybody and get that to you. And I should be working on getting out the agenda and link for tomorrow afternoon webinar at, I think it's the same time, 1:30 to 2:30. I'll send you that invite so you have the link. So if there's no other questions, y'all have a good day, okay?